Hi, I'm Jennifer Mann.
Hi, I'm Julia Dora.
I was born in Australia, in Melbourne.
I was also born in Australia, Melbourne, I think in the Royal Women's Hospital.
Same, yeah. I feel lucky to be born in Australia because I've heard all the stories that my family have told me. They're not that South Sudan is negative or anything. It's just that when they were there was the war that was happening, and I would feel very lucky to be born in a country where it's more safe and it's not a war happening. But it's just, I love Australia because there's so much good stuff here, and I can't wait until I get older so one day I can go visit South Sudan to go see my family and create my own stories so I can tell my family, my kids and all that about how South Sudan's so awesome and Australia is so awesome, and then tell them about how they're so lucky to be born here. And I'm just like, Australia's just awesome, it's just so great. My family's from South Sudan and my tribe is Dinka.
My family is from South Sudan and my tribe is Nuer.
I don't know too much about my culture. I try to learn a lot from like my siblings and my mum, but I don't know much things like on the spot.
Well, yeah, same. I don't really know a lot, but I do know that they love to dance a lot, dancing.
Yes, we have a big family, and it's like a good size for a South Sudanese family because South Sudanese families can be like really massive. But when I tell people like my school and all that how much siblings and all that I have, they're like, whoa, that's so many siblings, because most of them have like two siblings. Yeah, but I guess, yeah, I have a lot.
Oh, my family is pretty big, but I don't have like a lot of siblings, but I do have like a lot of like cousins and aunties and uncles from around the world. Recently, I've graduated from year 6 and I'm excited to start high school.
Recently, I graduated from year 6 as well, and I'm really excited for high school. Primary school was a lot of things. It was like fun. It was kind of like nerve-wracking, but there was lots of negatives and lots of positives in primary school for me. So yeah.
Yeah, it was mostly fun for me. There was some negative things, some bad things I didn't really like, but overall, it was a good experience. The negative things that I've experienced in primary school were racism, name calling, and body shaming.
The negative things that I've experienced in primary school are pretty similar to Julie as well, like lots of racism, body shaming, and like lots of like name calling, especially since majority of the schools that I went to were like, there weren't many black people at the schools that I went to, so I feel like I experienced lots of not super positive things. I have so many examples from so many different year levels, but last year, in year 6, I moved schools, and for about a term and a half, I was the only black person in my school. And like, I think my 3rd week at the school, someone said the N-word in front of me, and that was like a whole thing. And my school didn't really acknowledge that as much as I thought they were going to. It kind of like was a talk for a day, and then it kind of just got swept under the rug. And I feel like as like the year went on, that happened more and more often. But that was like lots of things that just got swept under the rug, and I feel like that's what happened throughout all the years in primary school. That's like a really big thing that happens, especially in Australian schools, which I think is like really bad, and I hope that changes. I know it will change, because yeah.
Yeah, very true. Well, they used to like make like really mean comments about my like hair because it was different, and most people, they had like straight hair. My hair was like curly, and I also had braids. It was just really mean.
A lot of stuff happens with my hair. I feel like that's a big topic, especially with black people. There's lots of stuff about my hair. Every black girl can relate to this. The most embarrassing thing is when your hair falls out at school and you have to like hide it. Well, in like, I think it was year 3 or year 4, I was in class and one of my hairs came out, and someone saw my hair and they said, "Jennifer, did you cut your hair?" And I started like playing along with it. I was like, "Yeah, I cut my hair." And they're like, "No, you didn't." And then someone came out and they were like, "No, you didn't. Your hair's fake." And I was like, and that was like really awkward for me. That was like a really, really bad situation, because I didn't want to have to like sit there and explain my whole culture to everyone and be like, yeah, so my hair's this. Because I feel like I don't need to. It's not my responsibility to educate other people about my own culture. If you want to learn something, go search it up. Like, I'm not Google. Go search it up by yourself, And I feel like that's what's so awkward. And I feel like as it gets better, it should be less awkward, because it's like, it's normal. It's hair. It's gonna fall out. Whatever. But I feel like with my generation, it was so hard, especially with other generations before mine. But I hope for the next generations to come that it gets easier and easier, to the point it's like, oh my gosh, your hair fell out. Like, oh, just go put it in the bin, you know? Because when I go put my hair in the bin, I have to like hide it, and it's like really a whole thing. It's really annoying. Also, especially in the younger levels, there's also name calling. When you get older, there's not as much name calling. It's more like the N word, because when you get older, lots of white people love to say the N word. Like when you get to year 6, I feel like when I got to year 3, that's when I really started to hear the N word. Because in the younger levels, you didn't hear that. You heard like, there was other racist stuff like, oh, like skin color, you're different, stuff like that. But as soon as you get to year 3, like snap of a finger, everything's different. Yeah, like everyone just like out of nowhere, the N word is like a cool thing to say. It's like popular and all that. And I was like, that was really difficult at first. But the thing that kind of got me through it was going to a school that had a little more people that looked like me, instead of staying in a school where I was like the only black person. And I feel like that's what made it a lot easier, because I went to school with Julia and lots of other people, and I feel like that made it a lot easier for me.
Sometimes I told the teacher, but sometimes telling the teacher doesn't really help, you know, because they don't really like acknowledge it. They kind of just like brush it away. Yeah. So I feel like telling my friends about it makes me feel a little bit more better, because, you know, they comfort me.
Advice that I'd have for someone that's younger, that's going through some of the stuff that I've gone through, I feel like, I know what Julia said, sometimes going to the teacher is hard, especially when teachers don't look the same as you, like wouldn't understand it as much as you do. I feel like seeking out into your community, talking to your friends about it, makes it so much more easier. Because when stuff like that happened, I told my older siblings, I told my older friends, and they kind of like they're like, oh, so this is what I did to do all this, and this is what you should, like, this is what could help you out. And I feel like that's what made it a lot easier.
It's not really the best or the worst right now. Like, there's still racism, a lot of racism, but I feel like it will get better.
Yeah, it's better than it was. I know that for a fact. Like with all the stories that my siblings have told me, it was a lot better back then, especially for them coming from another country. I feel like it's a lot better now, and it's just got to keep getting better and better and better until this, like...
racism is gone.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Some of the most positive things from primary school was, well, my friends were really like supporting and nice most times, and they like really understand me, because I had some black friends, you know. And also I had this one teacher that understood me. She was really like supporting. She didn't like ignore anything that was like happening to me, and that just made me feel really good.
Some of the positive things that I've experienced in primary school was I learned how to be resilient. I learned how to be like really strong. I did learn how to be independent in primary school, and I learned that I know the teachers are there, they're there to help you, but sometimes other people can help you except for the teachers, like your friends, your family, and it's good to like seek help with other people as well. And I feel like that's something that I learned really well in primary school. And also to speak up, like don't be quiet. Like if something's happening, something's like not going right, if you don't want to talk to your teachers, that's fine, just talk to somebody, like don't just be silent.
What I'm looking forward to in high school is I'm looking forward to picking subjects. Like I'm pretty sure in like year 10, 11, 12, you get to like pick, and you don't have to like force you to do this, force you to do that. You can just pick whatever you like. I think that'll be really fun. And also because it's more like an open space, you have, I guess, more privacy than in primary school.
What I'm looking forward to in high school is I feel like not many people would relate to this, but I feel like I'm really excited for the responsibility of high school and like being more independent, and like I feel like that's gonna be so fun, because in primary school, as Julia said, like everyone picks, the teachers picks that stuff that you have to do, and you have a little more freedom in high school, which I'm really excited for. And also just being around like the older kids, because growing up I like always made friends with people that were older than me. And I was so excited to go to high school and be like, yeah, now I'm in high school and I'm like one of the older kids now. Because I've been so excited to go to high school so long. Ever since I knew what high school was, it's like, I want to go to high school. So I'm like so excited now. Yeah, I'm excited for everything.
Some of my hobbies are, well, I really like, you know, running, and I also like skating, where I'm kind of getting out of it. It's not as fun, but I do like hanging out with my friends, you know, going places. Yeah, and going to the youth hub, it's really fun here.
Some of my hobbies are, I like a little bit of everything. I'm very well known for switching my hobbies a lot. I've done lots of sports. I've done footy, soccer, basketball, tennis. Like a ton of sports. I have done so many sports. So I'm known for like switching up my hobbies a lot. I like to do sports. I love going out. I like being at home as well. I'm obsessed with using my phone. I'm always on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. And I love shopping. I don't even like wearing new stuff. I like wearing the clothes that I have. I just love to go shopping and just buy stuff. Yeah, it's so fun. But I have so many hobbies. Like if I said all my hobbies, we'd be here for hours. So Youth Hub is downstairs. Like that's like the best way I can describe it. Like it's just there. It's there for like the place for everyone to go. Youth Hub is like when I lived in Richmond, it was my favourite place to go. I was at Youth Hub almost every day that it was open. I loved Youth Hub so much. Youth Hub is like, as I said before, the best way to describe it is it's downstairs. And I feel like people in Richmond really understand that. Like it's downstairs, it's there, and like it's not like with other places. If you want to go do something like all the community, you have to go there. But Youth Hub is downstairs. It's like there. It's like in the middle of everything. You know, that's what I love about it. Like no one lives far away from the Youth Hub. All of us live so close to it, and I feel like that's the best thing about it. Some of my favourite staff at Youth Hub is Sandra. Sandra's one of my favourite staff because I've known her for like the longest time ever. I met Sandra when I was like about 4 years old, and I've just grown up with her. I think she's awesome. Lucci, I recently met Lucci, but Lucci's awesome. He's so funny. He's like just so nice. 15, I recently met her as well, but she's awesome as well. She's like so nice. She's really funny. I like how all the staff workers are like really nice and welcoming, and not like teachers or whatever, where teachers are like older than you, like yeah, you have to respect, you have to listen. The Youth Hub is like so nice and welcoming. And Wilson's so awesome.
For me, I think it would probably be Sandra's obviously on the list because I've grown up with her, you know, known her since I was little. It would just be weird to not put her there, like. And then honestly, 15, because honestly I can really get along with her. Like I understand her so much. And also Lucci, because you know he's funny, he makes me smile, I guess. And then Tiana's just, I don't know what to say. She's just. And then Christabel's really nice. In the future, I would like to be a lot of things, like a lot that I can't think of. But one of them, I think I would like to be a fashion designer, honestly. I'm in love with fashion, oh my god, shopping. I just want to make clothes for people, you know. I think it would be a really fun thing to do. But honestly, I also want to work at a cafe. I don't even know why. I feel like, you know, it would be like warming.
In the future, I would like to be a lot of things, as Julia said. But some of the main things that I would like to be, I'd like to be a boss. I'd like to be in charge of something. I want to have my own business. But I'd also like to be a supermodel because that would be so fun. And like, that just like, being a South Sudanese supermodel sounds so fun. And like, just being like, showing off my culture. And especially showing it off to Australia. Showing Australia that like, I'm South Sudanese and I'm Australian. I'm like, so awesome. And I also want to be a chef, and I also want to be a mum. I want to be so much stuff, and I will be so much stuff because I'm just so awesome. Thank you guys for tuning into the C Network. I hope you guys enjoyed our episode.
Smash that like button, subscribe. Also watch only our episodes.